Planet Gliss and Live Hope join forces to help people in need. And we are live to entertain you and inspire you to become the better version of yourself. Today, we're going to talk about how you can raise your consciousness. And we have a special guest live from Malibu, California, Yazemeenah Rossi. Hi, Yazemeenah.
Sara, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Tell us a bit more about you and what you do in your life.
Oh, I do a lot of things. And in fact, at my age, I also have a lot of time. I don't have a family to raise anymore. So I am always busy with a lot of projects, but it be photography, traveling. These days, this month's traveling, it's like, quiet. But and writing and creating. In fact, I am an artist, so I am always busy with many projects.
How do you want to affect the world? I know your story, it's very unique. You also modeling, you do self-portraits. How did you come to become an artist, and what's your message behind your art?
I don't think there is a message. I'm not like thinking of a message. I just do something that I like. I don't do things calculating that I'm going to do that with that message or that. I'm more like, I love, in fact, to follow the flow, to be spontaneous. I love what is random, is what I do in my photography. Often I have my camera just like that. Or when I do self-portrait, I never know what I'm going to get. And this is very exciting. In fact, I love the things that are not planned, and I love to create in the moment. I think with what is around me, with what is right there. And if there is a message, maybe it's about simplicity and really be present in where we are and to create with what we have around. This is what I like to do.
You're also very comfortable with yourself, and we say that when you're happy inside, you also look happy in the outside, and you look very beautiful. And what's your relationship with yourself, and what do you do to stay positive?
But all this is connected, the fact to be in this creative process and to be present to myself. In fact, I just follow the flow. And when you follow the flow like that, of what is coming and your inspiration in the moment, because being inspired, in fact, is like being crossed by a breath. And when you are in that, time, in fact, is like sliding. It's sliding on you. Time has no take on you. And this is about also the mindset that we can have. What is the mindset in situations? And when you are curious and you are like, okay, there is that. What can I do with that? In a way, instead of taking something that is difficult and staying stuck, it's about what are the options I can find? What can I do in this situation? And when you do that, in fact, you are with the flow of life. And because things are changing all the time, it's not permanent, So if you want to be stuck and to stay someplace because it's comfortable, it's not working because everything is changing. So if you go with the flow and with what is coming right now and you don't avoid it, you go with it, there is a lot of power. There is a kind of very inner strength there in that thing. And it's a fantastic phenomenon. And being creator, I think I've always been an artist because I have an eye. For me, I tell myself as visual artist, but I have an eye for beauty in the simple little things that surround me. I can see beauty everywhere. So this is very stimulating because it's always in process of stimulating and creating. Oh, I'm going to do that, or I can picture that, or I can. And it's like, when you do that, when you are an artist, every artist can tell you, when you create, you are out of time. and it's really like, and you have no time to consider things that have no matter for you, because you are in a process, a creator process, and in a way we are as human to be creators, you know.
And also, tell me more about the subject of your portraits.
Oh, there are a lot. There are the people I'm doing pictures. I love, in fact, it's what I prefer. I prefer to do portrait of people, but my job as model brought me to do my own pictures, because I didn't like my portfolio, my model portfolio, like 18 years ago. And I started to do my self-portrait without knowing that since some years, I am also doing self-portrait for clients in fashion. So it's like my art became also my way of living. So it's really, it's not easy, but it's really fantastic, because I'm always in something that I like. So when I do portrait of people, what I like the most is that I can forget myself. I am really for the person, with the person. And what I like is to have the soul to soul connection, and to often I do pictures of people who never did pictures, who are not models at all. And often it's the first time they do pictures, and when they see the pictures, they are amazed, because they don't see themselves so beautiful. And me, I have this, as I said before, this ability to see beauty in all little details and angles and light. Very simple. My pictures, my photography is not with a lot of, there is no special effect. The special effect there are, it's a light. It's the light. I love, for example, very much the light on water, the reflection. And I love to play with blurry things, because I love to, in a way, to try to manifest what we cannot see, that we can just, of the invisible. And with this blurry thing, we can have a glimpse of that blurry
We have
images.
a self-portrait that you did. I want to share with everyone, and I would love you to comment on this.
Which, oh, it was freezing cold there. It was in the desert in February, March, and I was doing this series for this jewelry company. And it was so cold and so windy. And it was like, but I love that place in California desert. Yeah,
Did you had someone else, or you did it by yourself?
by myself. It's
Nice.
self-portrait. Yeah, and I have no assistant. I have nobody. I'm just alone with my camera.
Tell us also what happened while during the pandemic and during the lockdown, how your life got affected, and what did you do to stay in a positive mental health, a mental mindset, and also if you did learn any new skill, did you dedicate your time to something new?
No, not really, because in fact, I live like that all the time. I'm an hermit. I live like an hermit. I can stay at home for 1 week, just go on the beach down there, don't go to any store or anything. If I don't have audition as model, as actress model, I don't go to the city. So I am, for me, this pandemic, this quarantine did not change a lot of things. The only thing that it changed, it's to do what I'm doing now, but I was always postponing, because I was always traveling on road trip or in other countries, and I was never taking time to stay at home and do this video that people request. So because people want to know how do I live and all, and I say, okay, I will do video, but I never did. But the good thing with the quarantine, this is really the big change, is that I started to do this video, informative, just about my experience. I don't pretend that what I say is the truth, but it's my truth. So because it's what people want to know, how do I do? So it's what I do, and it can be a little bit abstract sometimes, but it's me. It's my way to be.
You also started a modeling career. How did you get into that?
Oh, I started when I was 28. And it was by chance. It was just to be at the place of someone that was sick, a model that was sick, just like that, from one evening to the day after. And I never did that before. And it was not pleasant at all. And I started as fitting model. And I went through different steps, until I arrived in New York at 45. And there I changed totally because I was with Ford Model Agency. And it was like a totally new world, because before I was not the model you see in the magazines or campaign. I was backstage, like they were making the clothes on me. So this changed when I arrived in New York. I had a totally different career. The fittings were finished, TV commercials and campaign. And voila, it has been very easy for me, in fact. But I never thought I would do that one day when I was younger, especially because my mother is a tailor. And when she was making my clothes, I had to fit the clothes. I could not stand 10 minutes stand up. I could not. She said, you will never be able to be a model. And maybe it's like because she put me this challenge, maybe, who knows, somewhere in the unconscious. But it was not planned at all. I never thought about doing that.
And we have a picture that we want to share with you. Can you tell us a bit more about this picture?
Oh, this is recently in Saudi Arabia. I've been for 1 month traveling just at the beginning. It was first day of February for 1 month. And I was in this site that is really amazing, that it's called Alula, where I wanted to go 10 years ago. But 10 years ago, this site was closed. It was even closed 5 years ago to Saudi. And I found the way to go. I've been hosted by very kind people. It was fantastic. I had an amazing trip there. And this picture is when I was with the tour with the tourists. But I took when they were going away from one side to another, I took like just self-portrait very quickly. And as I could not change my clothes, I brought fabrics with me, and I draped fabrics. One silver, one pink, like to have different clothes. This is this picture.
I also want to share another picture, and we're gonna talk more about this, but let's start with this picture.
Oh, this is from my video at home doing my yoga. Yeah, very simple.
So you are an expert, I would like to say, of well-being and feeling good inside and the outside. And I feel that during the lockdown, people really had a chance to look inside themselves. And we want to take advantage of this moment to improve ourselves and also change the world for the better. And I feel you've been being on this journey for a long time. So tell us a bit more what's well-being for you?
Well-being is going towards simplicity. It has been a long time. In fact, I can say that my whole life I've been interested in that, and I took care of myself. It's not something new. But I never do things like because it's a trend. I just do things because I feel them. And I change. I have cycles. I change. I don't have like every day I'm going to do the same thing at the same hour. It's boring me. I prefer to do what is spontaneous. I hear music. Okay, I'm going to do some exercise. I hear that, I want to be in silence and meditate a little. I take what is coming in the moment. And this, when you do that, for me at least, it's like that. Doing that make life so pleasant and so exciting because it's not things that are like repetitive, So I've been on this journey since almost all my life because I've been raised in nature with people who were, they had their orchard and raising fruits, vegetables and fishing and hunting and all that, and making things with simple things. Because being from a family that was not really wealthy, not poor because we had everything, but when you are like that, the thing you cannot buy, the only thing you can do, it's making them. It's for that I make my clothes, I make my knitting, I can make everything. I make my ceramics and I make my interior design, and I can do everything with my hands. So this is really fulfilling. When you are able to do that, your soul is fulfilled. And I think the pandemic brought that to people. It's a positive thing. Unfortunately, some people are suffering a lot because they have no space, a lot of children, and no money, and it's very, very hard. But for a lot of people, and I have a lot of messages of people telling me that they are so happy because they never been able to have this time for themselves, and they started to discover a lot of themselves. Me is what I do all the time. So for me, I've not discovered, unless what I told you about the video, but I've not discovered something special. But I think it's really fantastic what did happen. And people are...
How do you raise your consciousness?
That's what I was going to tell you. People are raising their consciousness because they are connected with themselves. And it's to be with yourself without distraction. And this is not easy because a lot of I don't have TV since almost ever. I don't have a TV. So I'm not distracted by the news. I don't know what is going on. I know by now by social media and all that, but it's not something that is on at home and that is like this noise in the phone, in the background, and you cannot be alone with yourself. The most important thing is to be with yourself, to take time to read a book, to cut all the noise, to go walking in nature, and that starts a connection. And that you observe, you are curious, you go online and you check for information. This is what I always say to people. Don't ask me how I do that. I tell you I do like that, but don't ask me details because you have to go and look for yourself. And this is the only way. It's the only way when you go and look and search and be curious to be more and more in tune, to feel, oh, this sounds right for me. Oh, I'm going to try that. Or this I'm not attracted. Because we are all different. And we can have all different, feeling about something that we read or something. It's a awakened thing. And this is the connection. It's how we make the connection inside. It's by being with ourselves. There is no other way. Because this happens in the body, by the body. And the body, sometimes, if we are not connected, we're going to have a sickness, or we're going to have an accident, or we're going to have something to make us stop, to be able to take a pause, to observe, eventually to connect the dot, and to evolve. Because every experiences, especially when it's hard in the body, make us evolving, one way or another. And it's like an amazing process about, raising consciousness. And everybody is in that process and everybody does it differently. So it's quite interesting.
You also define yourself a time traveler and extraterrestrial. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, but this is connected to what I just said. It's about, when you are really busy with yourself, time doesn't exist, and it's like you time travel. And it's like you lose totally track of time. And at the same time, with your spirit, your soul, you go in dimension, and it can seem abstract, but it's a world of the invisible. And this is extraterrestrial. It's because we come from the invisible world. And in fact, a lot of people don't believe in the invisible world, but it's who we are. And who is looking for the eyes, we have a soul. If you don't believe in the soul, sure, it's difficult to have this concept. But our soul came in this time, with these experiences, to have this life experience as it is, as human. But we are a sparkle of the divine essence. And this makes us also be time travelers. I don't know, it may be confusing or abstract, but it's difficult to put words on that because it's from a dimension that is invisible and there are no words. There is no language there. It's just like
I want to talk a bit more about this concept of, when you raise your consciousness and you are more in tune with yourself. This is a self discovery journey that I feel that most of the world kind of had a wake up call during the lockdown. And many things that we were giving for granted are not so obvious anymore, like going out in nature, taking care of our planet, taking care of ourselves. And I want to know more about how you take care of yourself, like also like with food or your daily habits, or
So
your
this is
taking care of
also,
your
yeah,
body.
this is also part of what I told you since ever. The way I eat, I always look to have organic food, to go to farmers market, because beyond uh, getting good food, there is something else that is involved. It's also supporting little farmers, locals. I go rarely to supermarket. I go almost every Sunday to the farmers market. And I did that all my life. When I was in Paris, it was the same. I always look for that because I've been raised like that. I've been raised with fresh, natural, real food. So this is a political engagement. The way you live, the way you respect yourself, because when you put this food in your body is satisfied and well fed, so you don't have lack of vitamin, or your body, in fact, is very able to face all what is coming and to deal with it. And it's not because the body, it's what is doing, is able to really protect himself with when there is a sickness, the body is able to deal with this, to face that, if he is properly fed. So when you have that, this gives you inner strength. And in fact, what is going on is that more you take care of that part, and more you elevate your frequency, because when you eat fresh food and very rich food, your frequency go higher. When you eat food that is deficient in nutriment, your frequency go lower and your body cannot face what is coming. It's difficult for the body to deal with sickness or anything. So it is something, it's a lifetime. It's not coming from one day to another. But if you start today, you're going to start to have benefits. It's not something that is not possible to change. Even if I have a friend who is 78 now, he was drug addict. He was, in very bad condition. And from one day to another, it changed everything. If you see him, 78 years old, you cannot believe it. So when you take care of yourself, there are results. And the thing is that it doesn't cost a lot, because me, I don't use skincare that I buy. I just have oil, so I do my own. And when you take this thing, they last a long time. So it's not obliged to go on very expensive product. And I think the pandemic shows this to people, that they can go to simplicity. They can go back to things they have at home. They are not obliged by necessity. They cannot go in stores. They cannot do shopping. So they are obliged to do what they have. And I think that a lot of people discovered more simplicity in their life.
And you are talking about keeping your vibration higher. Tell me more about that, and let's explain to who's watching, what do you mean with that?
What explain to?
To the people that are watching, what it means
Oh,
to keep your vibrations high.
it's all what I said. Practicing an art, for example, when you are practicing any art expression, you elevate your vibration.
Like, for example, do you do it through meditation as well?
Yeah, I do some meditation, but there is what I said before. I don't do this systematically every day, 1 hour, half an hour. I just do it when I feel to do it. In this time, since like some weeks, it's the morning when I wake up. It lasts maybe 15, 20 minutes. And I enjoy that. I combine that with breathing exercise. And I discover a lot, because I'm more and more interiorized, and I go even to the cell memory. And last day I was in that exercise, and I was like in the womb of my mother. And this elevates your vibration, And when you do that, when you are able to go there, you reconnect with the forces that created you. And this maybe is a way, like when I hear about anti-aging, there is no anti-aging because we age and we're going to die. The only thing that there is, it's pro-well-being, and pro-well-being is also going really in the body. Being in touch with the body satisfies the desire of the body and with pleasure. It's not something where you have to suffer and to make you miserable, exercising, I don't know how many hours and meditating if you don't feel it. There is no benefit if you do something and you don't enjoy it. The most important thing is to do this thing and to enjoy to do them. So you have to find your rhythm, you know? Maybe you meditate twice a week, or maybe you do yoga twice a week or 3 times a week, or every day if you like it. It's no problem. Me, sometimes I don't do yoga for 2 weeks. I don't feel it. And after, when I go back to it, I rediscover new spaces inside that I didn't knew before. And this time where I've not done practicing, I don't feel guilty. I know that there is integration, and this integration going to make also raise my consciousness and my frequency. So it's a very interesting process.
What I love about you, that you are very balanced and so in tune with yourself and with everything is happening in the world. There's such a sense of calmness that you give to people that are watching you. Describe me like a typical day that you have.
So I wake up this morning, it was 5:30. I wake up with the birds, they are singing, and what I do, I listen to them. First, I'm thankful to be alive because you never know, you can die in your sleep. So I'm really appreciating to land in my body, to feel my body, and I do a kind of meditation also with the birds. And this is really pleasant. I listen their sound, and I feel how it's vibrating my body. And after until they stop, because they sing for 15 minutes, I wake up, I do my hot water with lemon, and after it depends. Sometimes I go walking on the beach, sometimes I go straight in yoga, sometimes I check my email and I answer to my email and my messages. And after, I have a breakfast very late. Sometimes it's brunch more, toward 11. And after, I have, so I do a lot of things. I can, work on my computer, write, read, create some project like knitting or something like that. Video now, exchanging with people. I do a lot of video outside of the live with people, by Skype or WhatsApp, to exchange about subject in private, I would say. And after, I have maybe some fruit beginning of afternoon. And after, I have a late afternoon dinner. And after, I watch TV, not TV, but I watch series on my computer. And I knit during that time, or I watch documentaries, or, things like that, or I read. And that's it. There is nothing really special.
This is so beautiful, and I hope it's inspiring people that are watching. If you would give an advice to the world right now, what will be your advice?
I don't never give advices. This is something, it's a word that is not in my vocabulary. I give informations. So maybe...
Or like a message, like something that you would like to share with the world.
Just enjoy yourself. Don't enjoy to be with yourself. Because when you respect yourself and you take care of yourself, it's like spreading around. And after, you can inspire others to be like that. And people want to be like that. But sometimes they don't know. So it's discover who you are. And something that is very important, I think, your difference, it's your richness. So instead of fighting something you don't like inside of you, or because you cannot see you like others see you, you may have a priori or things that make you not able to see you rightly. try to take this thing you don't like and to really see it in a different way, to try to see the other side of that and make something of that and brings this forward to the world, because your difference is what the world is needing. It's not to have a clone. It's not to have people who are looking all the same. This is your treasure, and it's to cherish. And it's because you are that soul in that body that you choose at the soul level. So go with it. This is the thing.
This is so beautiful. And one last question. What do you hope to see in the world? What change would you like to see in the world?
Just that more simplicity, less tags, less boxes. It's like we need to fit in a box, or just with what I just said before, our differences are our richness. So, and when we can share them, we can really learn from each other. I think all this is obsolete now. All this appartenance to that. When you engage yourself in one little box, you exclude somewhere all the other ones, the possibility to really flow with what is surrounding. And this is, I hope, with what is going on, people are going to awake in this direction, because this, for me, it's the only way to be well all together. And when, as I said, when you respect yourself, you respect others, and you respect also the planet. So it's by the individuality to take care of ourselves, to be able after to spread that and take care of the collective. It's not the way around, We have to go really with ourselves, to be in touch with ourselves and to take care, respect ourselves.
And with our live interview, I want to remind everyone with you that we go live, why we're live, and why we do these videos to inspire people.
Yeah, this is really nice. So you look at this video, I invite you to donate for planetgliss.com. It's for people in need. So this could be really, really nice.
And also to livehopefestival.com.
And to livehopefestival.com, exactly, yes.
And I want to remind everyone that on July 11th, we will have a big online event where we will have artists from all around the world, and we will help people in need. So save the date. We will be live all day. And I want to thank you so much, Yazemeenah, for being live with us.
Thank you, Sara.
It's been such a pleasure having you, and your words are such an inspiration. You are an inspiration. You're a fantastic artist and someone that has something to share with the world. So we're really grateful that you came live with us to share your life and your experience and your words.
Thank you very much, Sara, for having me. And it's congratulations for all what you engage for people in need. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we will see you soon. We will hope to have you again and share more of your expertise. If you want to come back, you're always welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. I want to remind you again, we're live every day to help people in need. So you can donate to www.planetgliss.com and to www.livehopefestival.com. Thank you so much again for watching. We will be back live with more guests from around the world to entertain you and inspire you. Thank you. Bye.